Hi, everyone. I am Jackie Duran. Welcome back. It is Tuesday, which means in this world, it is Tuesday training. I am very excited. We have some fantastic LTOs that are going to be coming out, and I figured it was probably time for me to circle back around to pre-orders and how I do that and what that system looks like for me. Um, I am streaming to both Instagram, or I'm not Instagram, to YouTube and to my Facebook group. So I'm going to try and keep up with any comments. But if I do miss any or if I don't see any, do not worry. I will definitely get back to those. You can leave those in the chat or in the comments, and I will get back to those. All right. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about pre-orders. So here's the thing. We have items that come up as limited time offers. Okay. Limited time offers mean that it's something that Cincy is going to offer for limited time, basically meaning until a certain time frame or until it sells out, whichever happens first. And because we have partnerships with Disney. Oh, jeez. Sorry, my phone. Because we have partnerships, I almost had a heart attack live. That was fun. Okay. Because we have partnerships with Disney, NFL, NHL, uh, Warner Brothers, Harry Potter, all the things, right? We do have a lot of people who are wanting our products, specifically those LTOs. We also have some of our amazing products that we all know who have been with Scentsy for a while, like dish soap, our pet line, Scentsy Soak, just to name a few. Those are some products that have gone away, but then will be coming back as LTOs or limited time offers. And so, as a consultant, I always want to be the best resource for my customers, right? I want to make sure that if it is something that they want and they are not able to get on and order it when it goes live, well, then I need to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can on my end to expedite that order for them. Does that make sense? Okay. Because most, if not all, of our LTOs usually will happen at like a certain time frame during the day. And some obviously may sell out sooner than others. Some may last longer than we ever even imagined. So being able to have a pre-order system specifically for these LTOs is really going to serve you well. I am a firm believer in the fact that when you are doing direct sales, which is what we're doing, right? When you're in direct sales, customer service has to be your number one priority at all times. At all times. So I'm not saying that that's more important than working with your team or sponsoring or doing all the other things, right? I'm just saying it should definitely be one of your number one things because here's the deal, the raw deal, right? Is that anybody can go really anywhere and order Scentsy. So the question then becomes, why should they be ordering from you? Why should you be their Scentsy consultants? So in order to answer that question, you want to be able to say, because I give my customers the best possible service that I can. One of those ways is helping them when an LTO releases, right? I know it's something that they're going to enjoy, that they're going to want, and I have a feeling it might go quickly. Okay. So we're going to I'm going to walk you through my JotForm process. And this is how I actually will capture pre-orders. Before I jump over into that, let me say that there are pre-orders and there are pre-sales. Two different things in the world of Scentsy. A pre-sale is something that Scentsy is setting up in a pre-ordering status, right? They are pre-selling it, meaning usually a customer will put down like $10 towards it and it will be coming out on this date and they're guaranteed to get that because we've reserved the spot for them on a pre-sale. That's something that Scentsy does every so often. A pre-order It's something that is done by an individual consultant. Okay. Now, I also want to preface this by saying you need to be a responsible consultant when you are taking pre orders. For one, you are setting an expectation for your customer that you are going to be placing the order for them. Make sure that when the product or item goes on sale, you don't forget. Okay. You have to be responsible and be a good consultant. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be a perfect consultant, but you at least have to follow through with what you tell your customers you're going to be doing. Number two, you need to be organized in how you do it. So I'm going to show you JotForm. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm able to stay organized and be able to get that information out. Okay. Did I have a number three? I probably should have written it down. I don't think I have a number three. All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this and see what this does. I'm using a new app to do this. So we're gonna play for a minute and see how this goes. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's just do the entire screen. It's fine. Oh my goodness. Okay, the entire screen. All right, so there we go. Let me hop on over here to JotForm. All right, JotForm. In a nutshell, I know I've personally talked about it before. I know that there are many, many other videos. JotForm has their own YouTube channel too, which is amazing and perfect. So I simply am sharing with you how I personally use it. Okay. So this is, oh, I got dark all of a sudden. This is how I'm actually doing it, right? Okay. So when you're in JotForm, there is a free version. So as I always say, I'm going to preface this and say, date the app before you start paying for it. Use it to its max capacity of the free version until you're like, oh my gosh, I need more, or I need to be able to do more, or whatever it is, right? That's when you can make the decision in your business to go ahead and do the paid version if there is one on an app. There is one for JotForm. I will tell you that I dated JotForm. We dated for quite some time before I actually made the leap and decided this was something I was going to continue to use in my business. And because of that, and because of the return I was seeing and how I was using it, that's when I made the decision, the business decision, right? To say, okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to subscribe, I'm going to get the paid version. But for those of you who are not ready for that, stay on the free trial, okay? The free version, not even trial, free version. Because you can stay on the free version as long as you would like. The only main difference is you can only have, you'll see I've got a whole list of forms that I'm currently using. I try and delete them out pretty often, but these are ones that I currently use. But you can only have 5 active on the free version. And so you would only be able to have 5 going at a time. So again, if you're finding that you're using it more often and it's something that's working for you, maybe that's when you kind of have, a business talk with yourself and say, okay, is this something that will benefit the business? If the answer is yes, then by all means, budget the money. I usually will take 10% of whatever my paycheck is from Cincy, and that's my business budget. All right. So that goes to subscriptions for apps. Maybe it goes to postage. Maybe it goes to some things I want to order off of Amazon for my business. So it's just a really good way to kind of look at how you're budgeting your business. So when we're looking at an LTO, the first thing that I do is I create a JotForm to find out interest, right? How many people do I know that really want to pre-order this product, right? They're telling me that they're interested. They want to pre-order. This is one that I was using as a training, and I hope it is still set up because I probably should have looked at that before I streamed today. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, look, this is great. All right, wonderful. Love this. Okay, so this is an example of a pre-order form that I created. I did a training on it, but this is thankfully one that I've saved. All right, so everything you see here, I have created. Um, Using JotForm is very, very user friendly, and I'm going to walk you through the main pieces. But first, I just want you to look at this form, okay? So when we are looking at this form, I've created a header image there. That can be your logo, or you don't even have to have one at all. This was an example of the Harry Potter collection coming out with the new catalog, right? So you can see I put in Harry Potter collection arrives March 1st while supplies last on some of the products, not all of them, because some are actually in the catalog. Um, but for one, Dobby, I knew Dobby was going to be extremely popular, right? But I needed to know, are my customers really interested in this or not, right? So I need to know. And so what I did is I just created a product list with the things that we're going to be releasing. I didn't have a picture when I created this. So when I was at World Tour, I just used a picture where I held up the golden snitch buddy clip. And so that's the picture there. Obviously the Hogwarts warmer came back. So I've just created that up there. Um, and again, this is just how I create my job forms. Plenty of other ways to do it. Don't feel like you have to do it this way. Just do it. Get the information. That's all it really boils down to. And the real information I need is A, what are they wanting, right? So up here, I'm having them select, right? All of these say quantity. So maybe I want them to be able to choose their quantity, right? Maybe they just want one, maybe they want two. The next thing I need to know is I need to know who it is, right? So I need their name, right? You can see these little asterisks here that means that I have actually made that a required field, so they can't just skip over the name. I really need to know their name. I really need their preferred email address. I really need their shipping address, because if they're not local to me, I'm going to be placing the order to either direct ship to them, or for whatever reason, which I don't do very often, but you could have it delivered to you and then you ship it out if you would like. I also want their phone number. And to make it a little bit easier for my customers, I don't do a whole lot of phone calls. Jackie, I know I have a really nice phone, but let me tell you this. My phone doesn't necessarily work for calls. I really use it for the texting and everything else. So I tell them pretty much straight out text, right? I'm letting them know this is how I'm going to communicate with you, as text, right? So I'm just getting their cell phone number for communication, right? So I'll be able to text them, I was able to secure your order, don't worry, or it's shipping, it's on its way, all the things. Then I need to know what payment method they're going to be paying by. These are the ones that I simply use with my customers. If there's others out there that you use, by all means, add them in. And then, because I'm giving them a different payment method, right? Some people have really weird usernames or emails that they use that, whatever. So I asked them for that. And then there's a simple submit button. So what am I doing here? So here's the thing. When an LTO is getting ready to come out, I will create a job form, pretty much just like you see here, right? So when they are filling it out, they're telling me exactly what they want. I have it built into my job form. The subtotal, what the tax will be. I do just a pretty basic tax rate. I base it off of my own. So if it's a little off, that's on me, right? But it just makes it easier in the big scheme of things. Shipping, I do pretty much a flat rate of shipping. That's just something that I personally do. Again, if there's a little bit of a difference, I take care of that. And then, so it tells them their total there. Hero, please stop. Hero, please stop. Thank you. So when I get this information, right, I'm sending this out. I'm posting this on my social media. I'm wanting to get it out there, right? I want them to see it. I want them to fill it out. Anybody who fills this out, I know that I need to stay on top of this, right? So one way that I'm able to do that is JotForm has a really great way of being able to take this and put it into like a Google Sheets or a spreadsheet format. So I can very easily do that, print it off, and I can hand paper it however I need to keep track, because that's the thing, right? If somebody is pre-ordering through you, again, you're going to be the one placing the order. All right. So when it goes live, when it launches, you need to be ready. So you have to have everything you need, right? Another tip that I'm going to give you from somebody who's been doing this for over 11 years, do not, do not pre-order for someone if they have not yet paid you. Now, maybe you have a different outlook on that than I do, but I will tell you, I have gotten burned numerous times where even I had it one time from someone that I actually like knew in real life. Don't worry, Jackie, I'm gonna get you the money. Thank you. I can't afford it until Friday. Can you wait till Friday? But I really want to get that. Oh my gosh, I promise you I'll pay you first thing Friday morning when my check hits. I don't even have to finish that story, right? Okay. I'm just telling you, from me to you, because I care about you. Don't do it. Okay. This is why I prefer put a preferred payment method on here. I'm letting them know I need their money in order, or I need their payment in order to complete the pre-order. All right. So I usually will tell them, because after they fill this out, I will send them either a text or an email, and it will say, okay, congratulations, I've received your pre-order. Here's the products. I confirm the products. And then I say, I see that your preferred payment method is PayPal. I will be sending you an invoice. That invoice is due no later than 12 hours before, 24 hours before it launches, right? So I'm not really collecting money until about that 72-hour mark. So that's usually when those invoices will go out, is 72 hours prior. So that kind of gives me an idea. And again, I'm letting them know, even if I'm doing this pre-order a month in advance, I want them to know that this is when I'm going to be asking you and sending that invoice. That needs to be paid in order for me to do the pre-order for you. In order for me to order this, that's what I'm doing. Because maybe I have all the money in the world and I want to sit here and just pre-order a whole bunch for all these customers. And then what happens if these customers either can't afford it, change their mind, whatever happens, the tire blew, they can't afford the Sensei they wanted to get, right? Whatever. I am then stuck with a whole bunch of things that I don't need. And that is not what I am in business for. I am in business to be an independent consultant, right? I want things to direct ship to my people. In Scentsy, we do not keep inventory, okay? We don't keep inventory. Inventory in my office is just dollar signs. That's what it is, unless it's my personal Scentsy stash, right? That's a whole different thing. That's just an addiction. But if I have products sitting in my office, if I'm not using them for samples, if it's not my personal product, that's literally just money sitting on a shelf. And I don't know about you, but I don't like my money sitting on a shelf. Okay. So I am very, very particular when it comes to this, especially for an LTO. So I highly advise you to just be open and honest with your customers. They're going to understand. And if they truly, really want an item, trust me, it's not a big deal. So if you don't make a big deal out of it, they're not going to make a big deal out of it. All right, so how do we make this? What does this look like? Okay, so over here on the left-hand side, you'll see add form element. When you click that plus sign, look at all the beautiful things that you have to choose from. You could add in a phone number, you could add in multiple choice, you can add an image, you can upload a file, you can do all this fun stuff. How you see this here where it says my products, that is actually product list, and you'll see it says in use, right? So it doesn't allow you to do more than one. But when I click on it over here and I go to properties on the right side of my screen, it's going to open things up. I can go to there. But what I want to do is go to the product list. And this is where I can go in and I simply will edit. I put the name, and especially when we have an LTO that is like a license with the TM, right? It's trademarked. So I really go into my workstation and I copy and then I paste it in. So that's how I get that little TM there, in case any of you are wondering. And I want to make sure, again, for licensing and to be within compliance, that I'm putting the wording as it should be. Okay. So however it's listed on my news section is how I'm going to be putting it. I do put the price. Again, the description, that is simply copy and paste from my news section, right? I'm watching my news tab. And then, of course, I'm adding an image, especially with licensed products. You guys, if it's not a picture that you personally have taken, then if it's a licensed product, you need to be getting that from your workstation. Okay. So this is one just directly from the workstation. That's all I did. Um, I don't want to make it required. This isn't required field, right? It's not required that they purchase anything at all. I do select the show subtotal on the form. So as they're clicking things, again, they can see that because remember down here at the bottom of my thing, right? It's showing them exactly how much this is going to update in real time. So when I do that, I'm going to go back here. So I just continue doing that and adding one. So create new product for any of the LTOs that are going to pop in, right? Or that are going to be releasing. And so I do that. Up along here, this is where the shipping is. So I told you what I do is I do a flat rate $10 shipping. Okay. Again, if it's going to be something extravagant and there's a huge price discrepancy, then I'm probably going to go back to my customer and have a small conversation. Hey, the shipping's going to be this. Then I would maybe have that conversation. But for the most part, this takes care of everything for me. For tax, again, I just simply put it as my personal tax rate. This is my personal tax rate. Again, there might be variance. I kind of adjust as needed if that's needed, right? And then invoice, I don't do. You can do that through JotForm. I particularly don't use it because I'm going to be invoicing them through their preferred payment method, right? Through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or whatever. That's how I'm invoicing them. But you can do it from here within JotForm. So that's how I get that up there. Each of these, again, are ones that I have just pulled over, the name field, right? So again, pretty user-friendly, right? And you can pretty much just go down here and this is where I hit to make sure that it's a required field. You can do options or you add in different things. I mean, you can really get as crazy as you'd like with this, okay? So once you've added in basically anything that you want in this, right? You're going to go over to settings and I always give it a title. So this one was Harry Potter. That's the title of that. I do have it to where it sends an email to me. So that way, every time somebody completes this form, I get an email and it says, someone has completed your job form for Harry Potter. And that's what it sends me. Another thing that I like to do is I like to do a thank you page. So I have this little splash page up here. Again, you can customize that. You've got a lot of tools up here you can customize, or you can just leave it very generic. Thank you so much for your order. Your order's received. And you see, I just put a little note there. Another thing, though, that you can do with JotForm, which I do really, really love, and I do use it from time to time, is you can select this radio button to redirect to an external link after submission, and then you would just put it here. So maybe as soon as they're done with filling out this form, you want them to automatically be in your VIP group. So maybe that's where you would put the URL for your Facebook VIP group or wherever that lives, right? So that would be something that you could do. All right, integrations into other apps. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I do personally, I have it connected to my Trello just so I get notified, but that's just me. A lot of this stuff you really don't have to. I do have it to where it will show up on my mobile. So on my phone, it will do that. When you hit publish, so here's what I really, really like here. You can do this a couple of different ways. If you're going to be mailing things out, or maybe you're going to an event, you can get the QR code right here to this form. Boom, right? You're going to be doing an event and you want them to fill out your pre-order. Maybe you have a little teaser up there. You've printed out a picture. I don't know, maybe you already have the product. It's come out before and you have it up there. You want people to see it. You want to start collecting pre-orders. You could use that QR code. Amazing. Directly to this job form, right? You can share this link directly through Facebook from here. You can just copy and paste. You can go old school, copy and paste this everywhere you go. That's pretty much what you get here. Another thing you can do is when you hit preview form over here on the right hand side, preview form, that's going to actually show you what it would look like on a phone. So that's what it kind of looks like. See, it cuts off a little bit of my my header there, but that's okay. So you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So if you want to change things, if you want it to look a little different, whatever you need, tablet and then desktop. So you can do that. Now, once you've done that, you've published it, you've copied your link, you've sent it out to all of the places to send it out to. Maybe you've created a QR code too for that event you're going to be doing. You're going to be getting all the pre-orders, right? So what do you do once you have all those pre-orders? Okay, here's the thing, my friends. What you're going to do is you're going to come over here. You're going to sign back into JotForm. You're going to go to your order form. You're going to go to more. And what you're going to do from here is you are going to come in and you are actually going to do submissions. Now, I don't think it's going to give me anything simply because I don't have any submissions on here. So that's fine. But I'm not sure. I'd show you a real one, but it would show other people's information. I don't want to share that. It's not mine to share. Anybody who fills out this form, this is going to create and populate. These are all of the fields that I created in my JotForm. All right. All of the fields I created. Maybe I want to add another tab here. I could totally do that. Okay. So I can then take this, I can just view it, I can edit it, I can then download it to save it for later. I can share it out to other people if this was something that you were sharing out with other people. But this is where, again, you could download it. You could then print it out. So you've got it. If you're pen and paper, you've got it. You can highlight on it. You can cross things out. You can do whatever you need to do. Put it into your planner. All the pretty things. I'm a digital planner, so I actually download it when I'm on my iPad and I put it into there, and that's how I do my follow-ups and kind of track things within that. But this is why I love it for an LTO, for this specific reason, because it is just so easy to just come over here and get all of my responses in one place, organized in columns, and I am ready to go. What I do then is I, will then make sure, again, I use digital. So that's how I'm following it. I've downloaded the digital copy, right? And so I'm writing on it in my pad. But if you print it out in paper, right, you're going to maybe mark when you send out the invoice. Maybe you're going to mark it when it gets paid. But I want you to keep that paper, keep that digital copy, keep this, go back to this, because after you place the pre-order, after the product is launched, that's when your follow-up needs to happen. And following up on an LTO, you guys, we are here to give the best customer service. You need to be following up with your customers. When you hear the phrase fortune is in the follow-up is key, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Follow-up is, to me, it is right underneath customer service, because it really goes hand in hand with customer service, really, but it just is right there. That's how important it is. Because I could sell Dobbies all day long, but if I'm not following up those customers, again, remember, think back to my very first question. They can order Scentsy from anybody. Why would they come back to me? Why would they come back to you? Is it because you followed up? Was it because you sent them a text or an email when their order shipped? Was it because you were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for your order. To thank you, I've included some samples from our amazing spring bricks that are just released. I think you're going to love these. I'd love to hear what you think about them. All those little things, all those touches of following up with a customer is just cementing you into that customer's brain. Okay. You are now going to be the person that they go to when it's time for Scentsy. And that's the goal, friends. That is the goal. That's where you want to get to. So that's what I really wanted to show you today, was that. Okay. So it was showing you what JotForm can do. It was showing you the capabilities of how you can actually utilize that for the follow-up process and creating a system for that. So you're going to input this system into whether or not it's paper and pen, whether or not it's digital, whether or not it's in a planner, however it is that you follow up and your system works. That's what I'm going to suggest you to do. So for those of you on YouTube, you will see in the description of the video, you'll see I've got a link there to JotForm. You can go through that link to sign up for JotForm if it's something that you haven't used before. those of you in the group, I think pretty much everybody, if you haven't, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to share my link. Um, but really, honestly, the way that this goes is, um, I'm not sure what the sound was. I see this. I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry. I should have caught it earlier on. Um, Unless it was my phone ringing. That's probably my ring on my phone. It's the Mandalorian theme song. It's when my husband calls. So that's that. All right, so that's JotForm. That's LTO. So what are the next things that we have coming out? Okay. We've got the Father's Day collection coming out. Oh my goodness. All right, it's going to be great. So you want to get on top of that. Father's Day, when we're in marketing, when we're in direct sales, we want to be looking forward to the future and upcoming holidays that are coming, right? So we've got, well, Mother's Day is still coming, so don't count Mother's Day out. So if you haven't yet started marketing for Mother's Day, you still can. There's plenty of time to do that. So that we've got Mother's Day, we've got Father's Day, Memorial Day, if you want to do anything for that. And then, of course, any of the LTOs that will be dropping along the way. So in order, excuse me, in order to make sure that you are caught up on that, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody all the time. The planning ahead document is an amazing resource in your workstation. Just go to the workstation, click on the training. You will see right there at the top, planning ahead document. You can just view it, print it out. I suggest printing it out. Keep a hard copy. Even though I keep mine digital, I also have a printout. It's just in my bag from work. So I was doing some work during lunch hour today, but that's what you really need to be looking at, right? And setting up these job forms, setting up this system so you know who to be reaching out to. All right, guys, I hope this has been helpful. Please, those of you who are on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, share this with others who it might benefit from. And don't forget that every single week I'm dropping new training videos so you can learn right along and see what I'm doing in my business and how I do it. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Happy Tuesday training, and I will see you soon.